The grandmother saw the car speeding towards her granddaughter. She immediately rushed forward and grabbed the girl in her arms. The little girl survived, but the grandmother passed away forever. Before she died, she gave her a pair of magical eyes. These eyes allowed her to see how long people lived. There are those who can live for 34 years. Others had only 2 years left. A countdown of their lives appeared on everyone's body. The shifting numbers made Xiao Mei dizzy. Since then, she's been wearing sunglasses. But one day on her way to school, her sunglasses suddenly fell off. When she bent down to pick them up, she noticed a countdown on the girl's leg, and there was only 1 minute left. She tried to warn her, but it was too late. At that moment, a truck was speeding towards her. Xiao Mei instantly thought of the outcome. She ignored her own safety and ran into the middle of the street to stop the truck with her body. She thought she could stop the girl from dying that way, but the moment she turned her head, she realized that the girl had fallen to the ground, and she was holding her throat in pain. Xiao Mei realized that the girl's life was counting down to the last 10 seconds, but there was nothing she could do. This makes her feel particularly desperate. As the countdown ended, the girl passed away. At that moment, Xiao Mei realized that she could only see the time of others' deaths, but she couldn't change their fate. But even worse, a countdown appeared on her hand when she grew up. It showed that she only had 1 year and 22 days left to live. She rushed into the bathroom to wash it with soap, but no matter how hard she tried, the countdown wouldn't go away or stop. Although she was used to seeing life and death, but when it happened to her, she became frightened. The next day, after calming down, she decided to face it. First, she bought herself an insurance policy with her mom's name as the beneficiary. Then she put the PIN number of her bank card in a conspicuous place. After arranging everything, she boarded a bus to Seoul. She was going to fulfill her dreams and enjoy her last year, but the bus had a major accident on the highway. The girl realized with horror. The middle-aged man in front of her was about to die, because a countdown to death appeared on his face, and there was only 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Xiao Mei went to the man and asked him what he wanted to say to his wife. The man looked puzzled, but the next moment his heart began to ache. Then he slowly fell to the ground. Xiao Mei is used to this kind of thing. Facing the man's wife's plea for help, she could only say that she couldn't save him. You stay with him. Then she put the woman's hand on her husband's. She told her to cherish her last moments. A few moments later, the countdown on the man's face ended, and he passed away. In the face of such a parting scene, although Xiao Mei was saddened, there was nothing she could do, because she could only see the countdown of someone else's life, but she couldn't do anything else. Besides, she only had half a year left. Since she couldn't change her fate, she could live her life to the fullest. So she went diving at the beach. She interacted with everyone at the bottom of the sea. They enjoyed the beautiful underwater world together. But when she went ashore, she suddenly realized that one of her friends had disappeared. Xiao Mei looked at the calm sea. She jumped in without hesitation. Soon she found her friend at the bottom of the sea. She helped him put on the oxygen mask. Then she took him by the hand and swam desperately upstream. But then a miraculous thing happened. Xiao Mei realized that the countdown on her hand had stopped. She was staring in disbelief. A wave suddenly came and washed them apart. When Xiao Mei woke up again, she rushed to check the countdown on her hand, but the countdown was still running. Xiao Mei was very disappointed. She thought that everything that just happened was a dream. At that moment, the man she saved walked in. Xiao Mei looked again and saw that the countdown had magically stopped. She couldn't believe it. She thought she was dead. She walked outside in a daze. She wanted to see if this was earth or heaven. At that moment, the clock in her hand started to move again, but then it stopped again. She realized that the man was standing behind her. Xiao Mei instantly guessed what was going on. So all this was not a dream. As soon as the man approached her, the countdown on her hand would stop. From then on, Xiao Mei always tried to find ways to get close to him. She even wanted to be his girlfriend, but the man rejected her mercilessly. As long as she was near this man, her countdown would stop. So Xiao Mei always made up all kinds of excuses to appear in front of the man. She even confessed her love to him, although the man rejected her confession. But the next day, she came to the man's company again. She overheard that he was looking for a driver. When she heard that, she instantly saw hope again. With her excellent driving skills, she could definitely get the job. When she met the man, she started bragging about her driving skills. She said she could drive any car, and she'd never had an accident. But the man interrupted her before she could finish. He threw her out. But Xiao Mei didn't give up. At night, she stopped his car again. The man was curious and asked her why she kept pestering him, but Xiao Mei didn't want to tell him the truth. She wanted him to be her boyfriend. If you don't like me after the relationship, we can break up anytime. I'll disappear in front of your eyes forever. The man was speechless. He said he's not like other rich men who look for girlfriends indiscriminately. So you've chosen the wrong guy. After he finished speaking, he was about to leave. Xiao Mei took his arm and said, I need you. When both parties were at a loss for words, a group of punks suddenly appeared in front of us. They acted like they were very powerful. It turns out that her best friend had arranged for them. Her best friend wanted them to help Xiao Mei perform a beautiful woman saving a hero, but she didn't expect it to go wrong. When Xiao Mei saw the message, she realized the truth, but it was too late. They were all taken to the police station to make statements. Since Xiao Mei hadn't rested well these days, she fell asleep on the man's shoulder. She didn't know what she was dreaming about and grabbed the man's sleeve, and left tears of sadness. At that moment, the man suddenly remembered the scene when Xiao Mei saved herself from the sea, so he couldn't help but hold Xiao Mei's hand. In the end, the man's heart was softened. He agreed to let Xiao Mei be his driver, but not as a lover. Her life can finally continue. This made Xiao Mei very happy, but a new problem arose. If the man died first, she would die with him, so she wanted to see how much time he had left. But strangely, there was no countdown on the man.